It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is Koenigsegg Motorfest Selection, and this is my summit guide. Let's go! Real quick before we get into it, if you're looking for any of my Motorfest tunes, go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest Tools from the top, and there you'll find all of my tunes. Let's get into it, man. The Summit bundle this week includes the Koenigsegg Jesko and the Koenigsegg Agera R. And honestly, someone's going to say something about how I pronounce those cars in the comments. That's fine. I'm sorry. I'm American, and that's the way it is. All right. The additional vehicles you're going to need are the 110 and an AGP car with score breaker, with skilled and pure. I recommend the RB14, but it can be whatever AGP car. Actually, to be honest with you, it's for the slalom. You could use literally a street one car. As long as you have score breaker, you're going to get a high score. Anyways, the keys to this summit are unfortunately slipstream and your Agera R skills. So if you struggle with the Agera R, this summit might not be too friendly to you. You definitely have to use it for the required events, and it is the best choice for some of the others. However, if you don't drive it well, then just default back to the 110 or even the Jesko. So anyway, Agera R skills are going to play a part in this one. All right, here are the pro settings for all the cars that I just mentioned. All right, the first event is called Sweden Performance, and for this one, we're using the Jesko. There's really not anything tricky to this event. It is literally just staying on the road, but there's a couple of difficult corners, so we'll talk about those first. And then obviously, slipstream is going to play a big factor on this one, so let me get to those corners here. All right, the first difficult corner happens here at 37%. I'm going to back it up a little bit so you can see my approach. Basically, I'm going into this full speed. As I get to the bridge, I downshift twice to 7th, and I line myself up with this gutter. You really want to try to hit this gutter. I don't remember if I did it well on this clip or not, but let's see. Yeah, I did pretty well. So you want to hit that gutter in 7th, and then you want to use little taps of NOS until you get to 9th, and then you can blast it in order to get back up to top speed. So that's how you want to manage that one. Now at this bridge, at about 62%, you're going to cut to the right. The second the bridge ends, I actually did it a little bit poorly, to be honest with you. But you want to cut as soon as the bridge ends, cut over and take this cut. It's basically just a quick corner cut. Also downshift as you're coming off of it. You don't want to take these corners too quickly. You can use a gutter there. This one, I really messed up and I went pretty slow. You can go a lot faster than that. And that's basically the end of this race. I think it's a straight after this. This last turn, you can basically do full speed. Just make sure you're taking it in 9th. Make sure you're at full speed. Use your NOS. Use your NOS mid-turn to keep your speed up. And yeah, you're basically there. All right, the next event is called European Route E45. Now for this one, I think the Agera R is a faster car for this one. But I'll be honest with you, I don't have the skills to run the Agera R at its full potential. And I think you do need that in order to run it faster with the Agera R than the 110. The 110 has really good NOS power and it's got really good top speed. The Agera R doesn't have the top speed of the 110. So if you're struggling with the Agera R, I strongly recommend the 110 because even though you're going to lose time in the beginning of the race where you have turns, you can make that up against your own ghost, let's say, on the Agera. So basically, use the 110 if you're having trouble with the Agera, and that's what I did. Now, as far as trickiness on this one, there's really not any cuts. There's not a lot of things you need to pay attention to. NOS management is huge in this one, and these first few turns, your gutter turns, are going to be important. So not on this one, but you have a few left-handers where the gutter is important. So on this first one, you want to be careful not to run into the wall there. So just a quick in and out of that gutter. This one, you want to be careful not to go too inside because there's a brick wall or there's a stone wall on the left. So try not to go too inside because you'll hit that one. See how I almost hit it? Like really, really close. I got really close to the wall. It's on the inside. It'll slow you down a lot. You lose a lot of speed from that. And then one more gutter turn here at 11%. So just make sure you're hitting those gutters. Practice that if you can. Outside of that, you should not be using large portions of NOS until you get to 7th gear. Just tap it. Notice I'm just tapping. I'm trying to get speed and tapping. I'm letting the car do most of the work. Then when you get to 7th and you get on a straight, right after this turn here, exiting the tunnel, then you're going to blast a little bit, but not all of it. because you have to slow down here. This is a downshift and brake. Then blast here. A little bit. Look how I'm using NOS. Little taps. I haven't even gone below, you know, 3/4 of a tank right now. And I'm already at 280, 289, 280, 289. It's kind of bouncing back and forth. When you get out of this tunnel, boom, you should be close to top speed. And what you need to do is get yourself to 300 and still have a lot of NOS in the tank. And that's basically it. Outside of that, there's not really anything else that's tricky about this race. So let's move on. All right, the next event is called Jesko's Legacy, or Jesko's Legacy, however you say it. Sorry, anybody who's pissed off about that. This one is not tricky at all. This is 911 freeway. This is literally on the freeway the whole time. Again, slipstream is huge. It's going to be huge in basically all of these events. Now, that's not to say you can't get a good score without slipstream. I have evidence of it, and this is what I did. I didn't slipstream at all on any of these events, and I've got over 1.4 million. So you can do it without slipstream. All right, you don't have to have slipstream. Anyways, if you do, it's a little easier. Now, there's only really one tricky turn in this whole, actually two tricky turns. It's right outside of this tunnel. So let's get through here and I'll show you what I usually do. I try to keep my speed up as much as possible, but I'm not too worried about it exiting this turn. I let off the gas, I cut it hard on the inside, and then NOS out of it. Now, if we go forward quite a bit, all of this is just NOS management. This is literally just tapping the NOS. You'll notice my NOS never gets below, like a little bit below full. This turn here can be tricky as well. Triple downshift into 6th. You can actually go a little bit faster. I kind of took that a little bit safe. And then this corner is also tricky. I almost understeered it. You want to turn in really quickly, like really early. You want to turn in to where you feel like you're going to hit this checkpoint flag. That way the car doesn't understeer it. I almost did. And that's it. Straight to the finish. All right, the next event is called No Compromises, and this is with the Agera R. For this one, this is basically achieving immortality. You guys have seen me race this probably a lot on the build videos, and if not, I'll go through some of the things that I think are important. Number one, I would stay behind Ronnie if you can. He goes pretty quickly through this section, and you can use his slipstream in order to get, you know, pretty good speed without using a ton of NOS. And just pull out. Once you get to like 285, just pull out from behind him. This turn should be taken in the 270s. I dropped to 265. It could be better. Now this turn is important. Don't go on this curb. A lot of people have a tendency to cut this corner. You don't have to, and the car actually stays more planted if you stay on the road. So don't cut this corner. Don't go up on the curb. It's much better if you don't. The car can handle it. It's got a lot of lateral J's. NOS on this turn, mid-turn, keep the speed up. NOS on this turn, mid-turn, keep the speed up. On this turn here, you're looking for the cut across the grass. You're looking to basically hit this checkpoint flag. That's what you're trying to do. As soon as you get clear and safe of it, go ahead and NOS to get back up to, you know, top speed. Not top speed, but, you know, get your speed back up. After this turn here, you're going to be jumping over the rocks and going straight for the freeway. So the visual cue is this little pack of rocks here. You're going to want to hit this one here. Just like this. NOS in the air to get yourself back up to top speed, and the rest is just straight. So let's move on. All right, the next event is called Taking Action. This is also with the Agera R, and there's not a lot of trickiness to this other than the fact that you can't get NOS unless you drive across the pink NOS strips. So make sure you're driving across these. Some of these you don't really need to drive all, like across them all, because they're in a very inconvenient place and they might mess up your lines. Again, just make sure you're tapping your NOS until you get to 7th gear. Then you can use a bunch of it. The NOS strips are pretty much everywhere in the course, so you don't really have to worry too much about using too much NOS. You can kind of use it, you know, as you get it. So it's not really that big of a deal. But you do want to use little taps. So want to keep the car close to 290 if you can. Notice I jump off of this strip early because I want to make the turn. You're going to have to make those decisions. So there you go. There's not really anything other than that that's tricky. Literally, this course is just straight. If you have a slipstream partner, you'll do better. That's basically it. All right, let's move on. All right, the last event is called No Fear of Failure, and this is again in the Agera R. There's not a ton with this one, but there's definitely some cuts and some things you should keep an eye on. The first is this corner here. You want to hit this gutter if you can. Ronnie's going to try to force the issue. Stay wide here, brake, and go across the grass. You can cut to the right of that flag. get back on the throttle. This turn on the left here at about 8% is going to be a 5th gear. Sort of slow down a little bit for that one. You can't take that full throttle. Same thing with this turn here at 19. That happens a lot, and I messed up on this one, so I ended up retrying. Let's get to the other clip. So to avoid that little hop from happening, you need to stay to the left and downshift before you go over it. It keeps the car a little bit more planted, a little bit more stable. So downshift and stay to the left a little bit, and you'll be good. Gutter turn here, gutter turn there, and I missed it. And then here's your visual cue for the shortcut, which is right across this. I look ahead of time at about right here. The tree that I look at is this like fluffy tree here. Fluffy is not a way to describe a tree, but this tree here, I'm looking at this trunk. I want to go just to the left of that trunk. So that's my visual cue. Go just to the left and then turn in the air more left as you're in the air. And that'll help you get through that shortcut pretty quickly. Now, this turn here at 44% is a difficult one. It's one that a lot of people crash on. I suggest downshifting twice and rolling through it. So downshift, roll through it, half throttle, then get back on the throttle once you know you've cleared the corner. It's a safe way to take it. It's still fairly fast, but I know it can be taken faster, but that's going to get you through the corner without crash. This corner at 73% throws a lot of people off as well. It's because you tend to like let the car lift as you're going over the hill, and you end up going wide to the right, and you need to stay left on this one. So my suggestion is this turn actually starts back here on this right-hander. You need to take this right-hander properly. Stay wide right, then cut into the left, stay wide left, then cut into the right, and stay very far right leading up to this turn. Then cut over and go back close to this dirt on the left side. If you do that, you'll make this turn every time, but I know this one throws people off, so that's why I want to mention it. The Agera R can handle that corner pretty well. I barely lifted on that one. This turn here at the end, I downshift all the way to 4th and take it. Probably could gutter and take it slightly faster than I did, but you know, I have a skill issue, so there's that. Anyways, when you get to 7th gear, you can go ahead and blast, go full speed. I did make one mistake on this one. I wanted to take this a little bit differently. I wanted to hit this gutter and stay more to the left because there's a brick wall right here, and I was going full speed. I didn't break into this. I was going full speed, and I wanted to hit that wall in order to slow me down, and I missed it, which means I hit this wall instead, which is okay. It's fine, but it's definitely not optimal for what I was trying to do. And that's basically it for this one. All right, here are my feats. I'll let these play out in their entirety so you can see the routes and how I did these, and then we'll get to the final scores. All right, here are my final scores. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I leave my DMs open and I read every single message that comes my way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.